5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, Mr. Big Notes and the queen herself, Miss Queenie, and the beautiful Miss Masako. For some reason, I don't see y'all videos. Where y'all at? Where my people at? Come on, talk to me. Can I get
here? You can't see me?
I don't see nobody. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure it's not my my computer. It might be. It might be me, but I don't see nobody. It's just me all by my lonely. I feel
you need a hug, boo boo.
You see me?
Oh my God! Look at the queen come through.
Look at the Ishtar. Look at Goddess. I see.
I can't play me. Stop playing.
I see.
I feel so good.
I'm good. Don't mind me.
On the entire show this week, y'all, if y'all noticing anything, y'all definitely notice a different look. I do realize that I've already put it up as Ill Talk TV. I'm gonna make that correction in just a second. It's gonna say Real Talk. Make sure y'all, please, everybody right now at the beginning of the show, just share the show and push it as far as we can go. But this week's show, I want to get dead into this. Who is Boo Boo? What the hell is going on? I know that's Ishtar. I already know. I'm not Ishtar. That's Masako. I thought about the way she laid her head to the side. She did you Boo Boo? No, Boo Boo, do not be Boo Boo. Calm down, Boo Boo. Hey, listen. This week's we're gonna be talking about. I'm the youngest, and I'm expected to take care of my elderly parents' needs, while my other siblings make criticisms. That's a little interesting to me. Yeah. First of all, I want to scratch this. I want to make a change in the subject because the topic says I'm the youngest and I'm expected to take care of my parents. We're going to scratch the I'm the youngest.
Okay.
We're going to kill that altogether. We're going to say, yo, I'm a kid of one of my parents and they criticize my other siblings, or they criticize me.
I can go with that.
I'm going through that right now.
I can feel it.
Listen,
I can feel
crazy people.
I can feel it.
The Bears, the loss to these Indiana niggas. Bad today.
We ain't gonna even talk about that, bro. We ain't gonna even talk about that.
That shit hurt my heart. It hurt my spirit. It hurt my soul. I was
over. Still representing.
But gee, like this. Why would niggas wait for the one day to call me over to their crib to have a fucking Bears anything and we lose? They should have called me over last week. Or one of wasn't supposed to win, and I was looking at that game like, man, I don't know how we're gonna pull this one off. And as opposed to looking at a game from the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
And we was never in that motherfucker.
Let's get off this football shit. But I want to get back to this. My parents, you know, they don't like my moves. They don't like my siblings' moves. They might like my moves, but they might not like my sister's moves. They don't like it. I want to start this off with Ishtar. I love your background. That is beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is beautiful.
I like yours too. Everybody looks nice.
Yeah, everybody rocking.
Yeah, it looks nice.
I want to start this off with Ishi Bishi. And,
Okay.
you know, Ishtar has her name and she loves to be called Ishtar. But that's my Ishi Bishi. And Ishi Bishi.
Yes, Red.
My question to you is, in your life, and this is to the entire panel. So, entire panel, I do not want to have to repeat this question when it comes to you.
What was the question again?
Ain't got to it yet. I'm about to get to it right now.
Oh, man.
As a child,
Yeah.
of an adult that is older than you, how do you feel about your parent telling you who to date and how to move as an adult? Now, I'm not talking about as in your 20s. I ain't talking about when you're just getting into the game and you know, and your mama trying to look out for you, your daddy trying to look out for you. I'm talking about everybody on this panel is over 35 years old. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as an adult, how do you feel about a parent coming to you telling you who should date or who you should not date? I'm waiting on you. Let's go.
Well, all right. First of all, because of my situation, I would welcome that right now because both of my parents have transitioned, but they were still alive. Like first, my parents, they didn't do that. They may have suggested stuff, but no. I pick who I pick because I love who I love. And it has nothing to do with they like that person or not. I have to be with this person. I have to feel this person. So to me, I can hear, but I'm not going to take it. And I would shut it down, meaning have a conversation and say, I'm 44 years old. I'm wise enough to make my own decisions. I wouldn't even see that as an option, honestly. It seems like it's overstepping the bounds. But, you know, parents care. That caring sometimes go a little bit too far. They mean it from a good place, some, and then some may not. But if you're like over 21, way over 30, you should be able to make your own decision with discernment. If you mess up, you mess up, but they have to allow you to mess up, and you're an adult now. But you're still gonna be younger than them. But for me, that's not gonna work. I didn't even listen when I was younger. So I'm just being real. I didn't listen when I was younger. There's plenty of people they did not like. And when my mom said she was gonna crush his balls. So I mean that just show you right there. She said because he was. All right, let me just tell you this. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna get off it.
Yeah, because I need to understand.
He was one of the hood. He was, he was a boss type in the hood. Okay, and he had a little bit of clout, but he also had 11 children. So let me just tell you how old I was. I was 16 going on 17. He was in his early 20s.
With 11 kids?
With 11 kids.
That's deep.
That's correct.
That's deep in the motherfucker.
That's deep.
Mm-hmm. And my dad pulled a dog out on him, so they didn't like him at all. So, but that was when I was young, but and yet and still, I fought against them by seeing that dumb butt. Young buck, I've always been like that. In my adult years, the same thing. You make your own decisions. Now, if that's an adult, wait, this last thing. If they're an adult and they listen to that and they make decisions based on what their parents say or anybody else, that means you don't have your own mind. You have to be able to think for yourself. So who's in charge, really?
Okay, so because I got a couple questions today, so I want to try to move this conversation along. Plus, I'm drunk, so if anybody feels like I'm pressing the questions tonight, please forgive me because I'm drunk and the Bears lost tonight, and I'm feeling some type of way. I'm going to move this question over to the Queen. Queen. Now, I want you to repeat to me because I want to make sure tonight that I'm not just asking the question over in a different way. Because I've noticed in the past couple shows, I've asked the question, but then by the time I've come back and asked somebody else the question, they ask me, but it turns into something else. So I'm asking you I need everybody to listen to fuck to me tonight. What does that mean to you when it comes down to your parents talking about who you date?
Well, for me, I mean, it's they're looking out for my best interests. And we've had this conversation before, whereas me being directly related to the relationship, they may see something from the outside that I don't see while I'm in the inside of it. And a lot of times in relationships, we put on blinders. The person can be doing something and we're not aware of it because we so in love. We awestruck with the individual. And my parents could have seen something that I didn't see and wanted to protect me from that. Now, as far as me listening to them, I would take what they would say with a grain of salt. And it was
go too far with that because I'm gonna get to that. That's a whole nother question that I got tonight. That's a whole nother. I'm telling you, but by the time I get to that part of the question, because you already going to where I'm going tonight, but I don't want to get there too quick because I want. How can I break this down? You know, with sex, sometimes you meet a person and you're like, I like this person and I want it to go right. So I want to eat into this. You feel what I'm saying? So I want to stick to where you feel about it. We're not gonna go into other people's feelings or other approaches or anything else just yet. But right now, I want to hear from you about how you personally feel. This first segment the first segment of questions will be about how you personally feel. And then we're going to get into, like other people and being involved in it later. Let's go.
You still on me?
Yeah, I'm still on you.
I mean, like I said, for me, it's up to me, but if a person says what they need to say, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt.
Okay. Now, let me go ahead to my man, Big Note. Big Note. I'm going to ask you the same question. How do you feel about this conversation?
Okay. First off, I just want to say this before I get into that. Ladies, goddesses, y'all look absolutely stunning tonight.
Oh, go ahead.
All y'all backgrounds, yes, all y'all backgrounds just, I'm looking at Masako shit, astute, studious background, like I'm looking at Kim shit. Yeah, y'all look good. But Russ, I'll say this.
Wait a minute, wait, pause before you go any. So they tell all the motherfucking females they looking good, and I'm the motherfucker that's
bro. Hey, no homo, bro. No homo, bro. Your shit too. Your shit too.
It's gotta be like, yo, G, your shit too, G.
Your shit banging too. I mean, just even color coordinated, all that shit. We look great tonight. We do. Honest to God, we look absolutely stunning tonight. But to answer your question, how I feel is it's hard to really decipher how I feel about it because my parents have always just not had any, let's just keep it 100. As a younger guy, we're going to talk about not me in my 40s now, me in my younger years. Okay. I was a whore. I bring different women to the house. I live in Indy. So when I came home to visit, I very seldom brought the same female with me. You know, it was always a different female. That was because of my situation. I didn't have a car. I didn't do this. I wasn't that. I wasn't woo, 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 woo. But they never interfered. So for me, it's hard for me to answer that because my parents never really interfered in my dating situation like that. It was like,
Okay.
here this nigga go. He got another broad.
Stop. Usually, no, I argue on your behalf, but it seems like I be arguing against you on the show. Today, I'm arguing with your ass. No, I'm not asking about your parents' thoughts.
Right.
No, I'm asking you. When it comes to you personally, how do you personally feel about your parents telling you who you should be with? That's really what we get into.
I could dig that, but my parents never did that, so I can't really speak on it. They never really.
No. Not if they ever spoke on it. I'm saying if your parents was to come in, if you found the lady right now and you were working with her and you was doing your thing and you're like, I like her, and your mama came in the room and said, yo, I don't like this bitch. She moves this way. She does this. She does that. I don't like it. How would I feel? Your thought process, even right now, even if it has never happened before, if she walked in the room right now and said, I don't like her, how would that affect you? And it would
affect me, really. It would really affect my thought process because my mama, basically on what I said, my parents never really did that. So for her to voice that would probably really make me sit back and think like, okay, why all of a sudden now do my mama have a voice about who I date? And it might, and I'm gonna hold my hand up so y'all can see, it might have this much of a bearing on it, but not much. I would listen and respect it, but I'm gonna still do what the fuck I want to do because that's what I've always done.
Okay, respect it. I hear that. Now, Maseko, I'm coming directly to you while you're sitting in the beautiful comfort of your little, your little office that I was gonna steal. You stole my office. But I just want to ask you this one quick. Yeah, don't come give me the look, nigga. Don't make me smack you. I'm just punch you in the face right now. Listen, this is my question to you. First of all, let me ask you this. Do you understand the full spectrum of the question that I'm asking you right now?
Yes. How would I feel if my parents came to me and was just like, nah?
Okay. What is your answer to that?
I would have to respect that. And I'd have to be like, why? Because my parents don't meddle like that. So if they're coming to me and they're like, no, I'm like, what you see, I don't see. What's going on? What you know? And considering I come from those black trucks. That's the we laugh and we joke, but when the alphabet with the black truck show up, yeah, that's my family. So I don't, if they say something, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna take it into consideration. That don't mean nothing's gonna change, but I'm gonna take it into consideration because I'm gonna be like, why, what's going on?
Okay.
So I'll tell you what Miss Molly says, because we love Molly. We love Molly.
What Molly say?
Molly says, shit, I was thirsty before my mama even remotely, no, I was 30, I'm sorry, before my mama even remotely understood me. I ain't got that type of time for her to learn why I know she don't grow to love and respect the mate I am capable of choosing. And then she said, your background looks like some Virgo shit. Then she said, and then she was asked, would you say there's little to no communication with her about your personal life? And Molly says little to none.
Okay. Let me say this, because 9 times out of 10, and I'm very natural and I'm very comfortable with the position that I take on this show. I have no problem with agreeing with anybody that's on my show, and I have no problem with disagreeing with anybody that's on my show. for me personally, I have a different outlook on it. My mother and my father did not have any successful relationships that I can think of. So when it comes down to taking advice from my mother or God rest his soul, my father,
Can't hear you, bruh.
Yeah, you just went out,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay.
Where'd you
Good.
go?
I close the me.
if you lived your life,
Okay, there you go.
can you hear me?
Yep,
Yeah,
we
you
can
made it
now.
out.
Yeah. Now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's something going on with the internet over here. But this is what I'm saying. If I look at my parents and and they come to me and tell me like you shouldn't date her or you shouldn't do this, my first thought process would be you didn't have a successful relationship at all from what I can see throughout your whole entire life. So at some point I'll listen to what you're saying, but it does not mean that I'm going to make that what my decision process is for life. Because if you've made a certain amount of moves through life, and let's say I'm 45, and me listening to my mother, which would be in her 70s right now, and she does not have a successful relationship, I could listen to her tell me about how not to do things. But to listen to her to tell me how to do things would be a little bit different, because I would be like, if it hasn't worked for you, what makes it work for me? And it would take me to really sit back and evaluate each conversation that I have with her, because some conversations she may be 100% correct and say what you need to do, but then there'll be other conversations that I would look at and say, well, you're speaking from your past experience, and your past experience has not gotten you anywhere. I love you. You're my mother. You are what created me. But for me to look at you and to evaluate you the way that you evaluate me as a child, all of your decisions and all the moves that you make in your life don't make sense for me.
Can I ask you a question about that, bro? Because I feel you. My mother, like my dad has never been married, never in his life. But my mother was married for 45 years. She was married until her husband passed. But it wasn't a good relationship. So I feel what you're saying, but it's like, how do I, as her child, no matter, and for me, I guess my respect level for my parents and for my elders, period, not saying that you don't, I'm just saying for me, is so freaking high. I don't care if my mama was 99 years old. It's just so hard for me to tell her how I truly feel, because you're my elder and I respect that. And that's hard just for me to say, but mama, your relationship wasn't all that. Yeah, you was married for 45 years, but it wasn't great. Come on, let's be honest.
I agree. See, and this is where the conversation switches for me, because the original question was, how do you look at what they did and how do you consider life to be, not what they've been through.
Right.
Feel what I'm saying? There are situations that I can look at on both sides of the spectrum and say, mama, you was too aggressive, you was too mean, and then I can look at my father and say, you was too passive, you was too, but at the same time, you was too whorish, you had too much hoe in you. So I can't look at either one of these situations and say, this would make if I look at their lifestyle and the model that they portrayed for me personally, I'm their child. It's different from between how you might meet my mother and say, your mother is wonderful. But it's a difference between how I grew up looking at my parents and how they lived their life and how it affected me. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's to the degree where there are certain women that I will not date because they remind me of my mother. There are certain women that I will not date because they have characteristics of my father. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm looking at the characteristic and saying, okay, you like that too much. Because that's my mother. My mother is a, you know, if you got into a fight, my mother is the person that you want on your side. But looking at it from the other side of the if you're flipping it on the other side of you know, you're looking at the other side of the perspective, you'd be like, okay, well, she might not have been right just because but she could fight her ass off. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like when you World Star right now. You can click on a World Star clip right now, see a motherfucker get their ass whooped, dog whooped, but that doesn't mean that the person that whooped their ass was right. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, I look at both of my parents and I love both of them dearly, but I can literally say there are things in both of them that I do not desire for myself. And I don't think that it's a wrong perspective to look at what you are created from and say, I need to be different from that. Or on the flip side of that and say, I need to follow that trail. Because if they on the right path, that's the trail that you need to be on. But if your biological parents are on a wrong trail as far as relationships go, what does that build in the mindset of you as being a child that's growing up, watching your mother making all of the bad decisions, watching your mother or your father bring a woman in the house or bring a male in the house every other week, and that nigga's just fucking or doing something that is not beneficial to the relationship, but it's more beneficial to them at the moment? When do you, as a person, say, well, I saw this growing up, but that's not what I want to be? Either it be something good or bad. I want to bring this conversation to Ishtar, then I want to bring it to Queenie.
Let's see. I understand where you're coming from, because a lot of times we can get a different variety of examples, and you see what you resonate with. You see what you resonate with and what you don't. And for me, I looked at things I admired, a lot of things I admired from my parents, my mom and my dad. And then there were some things when I was growing up I didn't understand. So I looked for things totally opposite from my dad, because there was things I didn't want to deal with at that time, so I didn't understand it. But as I got older, I started to appreciate and want those things that I saw in my dad I didn't understand as a young buck, because I didn't get it. So as far as where I come from, looking at other people, I see what they do right, what they do wrong. I make check marks by it. But I cannot live my life having it dictated by somebody else's moves and trying to mimic somebody else. The only person that I have to be in competition with is me. So I used to do that, base who I am on other people. Oh, this person resonates, that person doesn't. But now that's null and void. For the past 4 years, I'm in competition with myself. So for other people, I see things, I see my reflection now. That helps me to empathize and be more compassionate, because I see my reflection in everybody I talk to. No matter if I rock with you like that, no matter if I think you're fraudulent or real, I still see my reflection, because what we don't like in other people, we have somewhere in ourselves, something we want to change in ourselves. And what we admire in other people, the same thing exists inside of us. So for me, the way I look at perception in other people and what resonates with me, it has to resonate with my soul. But for me, I have to be true to me. So that's just my perspective on it.
Ishtar, not Ishtar. I'm sorry, Queenie. Speak to me.
Well, for me, my parents were married till death do them part. And I've seen the good and the bad in the relationship. I've seen I learned of the infidelity that was going on. And watching them for the 33 years of my life that they were married, there were some things that I picked up from them, some experiences that I saw them go through that I said to myself, I'm not going to go through, I'm not going to put up with. So I learned by watching them. Now, they didn't ever really, there was maybe one relationship that I had that they had something to say about it because he was a street pharmacist. And they knew what that life could do. And they had their opinion about it. But I ultimately made the decision whether I was going to stay or go. Now, it took some time, took some lumps, and I learned the hard way. So, but no, I don't let other people live my life for me. Yeah, you can have your opinion and everybody has one. But at the end of the day, it's up to me. That's my choice, my decision.
Big Note, talk to me.
I'm similar, I tell people all the time, the way I look dark. Let me get a little light going on, extra light. I don't know if that helps, but I'm so torn when we started talking about this, or when we put this subject up. I'm so torn because I respect everything that my choices that my parents have made. And for me, I want them to respect the same choices that I made. Regardless of whether you think they're good or they're bad, we've all made good and bad decisions, whether it's mates or whatever we do. I just, like I said, my mother and father were never married, but my dad was always there.
You just went down real low in volume, bro. You just went real down low in volume. I don't know what just happened.
How about now?
I think it's something with Zoom.
Yeah, because I haven't touched nothing really.
Take you back to where I hope hey, listen, everybody, please make sure that you've done the updates. When I send y'all the updates and and tell you that does a lot for what we do on the show. But go ahead.
I did. I thought I did, but yeah, my parents, like, I have such a total different upbringing, and my parents, and I love them to death for it. They let me live my life. Like I said, they never gave opinions on my relationships or nothing that. And for the most part, the women that I was in relationships with were great women. My oldest two kids' mother, yes, beautiful. As far as spirit wise, the woman that she was. My daughter's mother, my 21-year-old, her mother. I can only speak volumes to the type of mother that she was. So for me, it wasn't so much as the woman. What I used to get was, boy, you need to straighten up. That's a good woman. That's what I got from the relationships. Because for me to even bring you around my parents, man, I felt a certain way about you, regardless of how I was. Every woman I've dated has not met my parents. And the reason they haven't met them was because of me, not because of them. I used to be scared of them getting in the corner and my mama get to talking and woo woo and be like, girl, you could do better than him. And at the time when they would have said that,
Would have been.
absolutely true. Absolutely true. They could have done better than me. But they chose me. And right now, the relationship I have with the mothers of my children is absolutely wonderful, even though we're not together. So for me, like I said again, my parents didn't get in that. They didn't. And if they did, it was more or less like you about to fuck up something good, being ignorant and doing the dumb shit you do. And being 48 now and look at the successful relationships that my kids' mothers have, yeah, they was right. I wasn't the right nigga for them. I wouldn't know, and nothing that they did, nothing that came up of that would have been because of them. It would have been more their reaction for me. I'm a good judge of character when it comes to women. I feel to believe they judge it with character, but maybe because it was just because I was suave and charismatic, charming. All the game that I learned from them dudes that I learned and that was in my life, I portrayed something that I really, at that time, I wasn't. And so for my parents, when they would come into the thing about my relationships, it was never about the women. It was always about me. So it's hard for me. Like I said, this was an interesting topic for me because at this time, at 48 years old, I'm learning a lot about myself and learning a lot about how I was the toxic motherfucker. They weren't so much as the toxic person. It was a lot about me. My parents, the only people outside, there's only I take that back, two females that I don't have children with that have met my parents. And both times my parents was like, that's a nice young lady. Mm-hmm. And when you look at me now, I'm single. So there's that.
Okay. You know. Let me get to the queen, Masako. We got two queens on the show. We got three queens actually, but get to Masako. Unmute yourself right quick, sweetheart. I want to hear what you have to say in your response to this question, because my next question will be a little bit more deeper.
So I think mine was a little different because my parents are married 52, in it for 54. They don't really ever say much, but when they have said something, it has been, baby girl, are you sure that that's what you want to do? Or like this last person that I was engaged to, he had been in my parents' house 5 minutes. My mother called my father into the back room and she was just like, nope.
You told us this story. This is like 4 times. This has been
like, nope. So other than that, and then other than my daughter's father.
I'm trying to tell you, we're gonna do a whole show about this one fucking incident because I'm telling you, this show
it was a mess. It was a mess. I'm just saying, it was a mess.
Or in some shape, form, or fashion, this conversation eases into each fucking show. So
because when we talk about our interactions with our parents, as far as our relationships, other than with my child's father, I mean, my mother and my father, you know, unless it was somebody, you know, where my father was just like, you know, he was one of those folks that we had to go and there was a bounty out on his head. So, you know, we was one of them folks we had to go scoop him up. My parents didn't interfere like that. Now, my child's father, my mother, you know, we were all out to dinner one time. I was very pregnant. He decided he was going to finish my food and I was very pregnant and my mother lit him up. Other than that, my parents never interfered. And they are the example.
Okay.
Now, when we talk about, looking at our parents and because you all were, some of you were saying, I look at them as to what not to do. Other than my mother driving my father crazy, I mean, my parents is cool, and they've been that way. They've been cool. Yes, they've gone through their changes.
See,
They raised two kids that are just total opposite ends of the spectrum.
this is
Hey
my
Russ,
question.
can I ask a question for all of us real quick?
Mhm.
Is it, could it be that it's different because of a daughter and a son, the way they may react?
Yes.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
And
Because like I said, my parents, pretty much me bringing different women to the house when I did bring them, had my mama in the mindset like, this nigga you don't get it. Where my stepdad, he cheered like, hey nigga, which one is this? So I think
Okay.
it might be different from
Yeah,
us.
for sure.
and I will agree with that, just because thinking about the way that my parents were with me and my parents were with my brother. Like my mother, she would just be like, "No, what you doing here in my house?" She never said that to nobody I was with. But my brother could bring some chick home and she'd be like, "What you doing in my house? Who is you?" Be like, "Mama, you ain't never been ghetto a day in your life."
Okay. Let me say this to y'all. It's different for me because my own. Okay, y'all hear me. If you know me, anybody that knows me knows that I call people family all the time.
Yeah.
I call Ishtar family. I call Queenie family. I call everybody that's a part of this show. I call y'all part of family. Like if I'm talking to a certain motherfucker, they might not know anybody in my family and they'll think that y'all a fucking cousin or something like that. Okay. But when it comes down to my family and the way that I looked at things a little bit differently because and maybe this is the thing, because I'm listening to the show. I'm listening to Maseko, I'm listening to Queenie, and I'm listening to Note. The only person that and I also listen to Ishtar. Most of the people on this show have had parents that have weathered the storm.
Mhm.
My parents did not weather the storm. You feel what I'm saying? So my outlook is a little bit different than having parents that had disagreements and they stuck it out. My parents, they got to a certain point in life and they said, that's it. I can't deal with it no more. You doing too much, you fucking around too much, you doing this, or whatever the situation was. It got to a point where they said they couldn't do it any fucking more. So I grew up a little bit different because my father didn't live in the household with my mother. My mother's representation of my father, because I looked so much like my father. This is a scary part. This is something that a lot of parents, you acknowledge, but you don't deal with the fact of the child looks like the father, but the child is not the person that you're mad at. So I grew up with a lot of, you look just like your daddy. You're just like your daddy in this particular, and guess what? They weren't particularly wrong when they said that you're just like your daddy, but the impression that it left on me left a different impression, because I also looked at my daddy and I also looked at my mother. Like I don't, where some people might come to the conversation and they say, my father wasn't this or my mother wasn't this. I come to the conversation and say, I can look at both of y'all. I can be in my father's shoes and say, that's why I fucked around. Then I could be in my mother's shoes and say, nigga, I done enough to provide for the family and to do everything that you need, that you don't need to go outside of it. But that thin line of that small conversation that happens in between the mother and the father that the child doesn't even see, the friends don't see, the mother of the woman doesn't see, the mother of the father doesn't see, that becomes a part of my lifestyle, because my lifestyle grew up with a family that was not a cohesive family. My family was separate from the age of 3. That's when my family separated, at the age of 3. So I immediately, from the age of 3 until the time that I decided to reach out to my father and say, I want to have a conversation with you by myself and confront you about some of the things that I've heard about you. And in that conversation that I had with him, he was not completely honest with me. So that left me with a bad taste in my mouth, because I came to the conversation as, this is your son just trying to talk to you. I get it. Like, that was the conversation I was ready to have with him. I get it. If you fucked around and you did whatever you did, I get it. I'm a man now. I have kids of my own. I understand what it is. I understand that I can fall in love and have great sex with somebody, and then 3 weeks later, this shit is going to hell. I get it. And when I had that conversation with my father was like, I don't want to reveal that side of to you. So that left me at that conversation, like, because there were certain things that let me tell you, there were certain things that I found out about my father from a conversation with my uncle. And the conversation with my uncle showed me how much, in comparison to the man that birthed me, and it showed the comparison to who I am. So what he told me, it didn't really shock me. I just wanted to hear the truth. But when I had the conversation with my father about, listen, let's just chop it up. This ain't got nothing to do with my mama. This got to do with me and you. My father could not confront his own demons, if I can put down that in that aspect. He couldn't even confront his own demons to talk to somebody that knew what the fuck he was going through. Because everything that I'm going through was spawned from you.
So, bro, what do you do when that's not the situation, though? That's my thing. Because, like, I hear what you're saying, but what you're saying will relate to me more for my stepdad. My father, and I will say this to anybody on everything I love, was the best absolute father that you could have. He's still that way to this day.
That's my answer to you, because my relationship with my father is not the relationship that you had with your father.
Right. And I dig that. And it's like,
and I can come to you without any grievances within me, and without any thoughts like, well, fuck it, your father was, no. Your father was a different man than mine was. The relationship that you were able to build with your father was a different relationship than I was able to build with mine. You feel what I'm saying?
Dig it.
So my whole point is, to somebody that's watching this show right now that may be having any thought process about their relationship with their mother or their father. First of all, understand within yourself who you are from who you are built from. Because once you have an understanding of, because if you can look at your mother and your father and say, well, they was wrong in that, and they was wrong in this, they were right in this, and they were right in that, then you can look at yourself a little bit better and say, well, this is what I want to do. This is right to me. Because guess what? There are many of kids that grow up with a mother or a father that's doing all the wrong moves. They doing all the wrong moves. They fucking everything that in front of their kids. They doing all the fucking wrong moves. So who is it up to say that's not going to be my path?
And see, for me, it's totally opposite. Because, like I said, my mom and my dad, to my recognition, I've never lived in the same household with my mama and my daddy. To my recognition.
Okay.
The earliest recognition I have of any father figure was my stepdaddy at 3 years old, dragging my mama by her hair through our apartment. That's the first record, but he lasted for 45 years.
And this is the key to what I'm telling you. Now, what you grew up as a child and you experienced what your mother went through because you were a child at that point until you become an adult. You feel what I'm saying? There's a certain part of her lifestyle that manifests and takes control over your lifestyle until you become old enough to create your own lane.
And what you saying, and what I think that part of it is that I could never, as a grown man, put my hands on another woman because I watched what my mother went through. And I'm saying this knowing that it's a possibility that one, my mama could be upstairs right now watching this because I shared it. Or my family that supports me hellified is watching this, but we've never addressed that situation. And my dad, to this day, I feel as a man that I'm not upholding the standard that he's taught me. By no means. I'm following behind the nigga that I was living in the house with.
Stop. Now, this is where I'm bringing this conversation to. Now, we started this conversation off about what do you know? What have you been experienced with? But what do you disagree with that you have been brought up since because guess what? When it comes down to a mother and a father, unless the mother gives the child up, or the child gives the father or the father gives the child up, that child grows up from infancy until it can make its own decisions, and they 9 times out of 10 based off of what they see. Now, this is my question to the entire panel. And I want to go Masako. No, I take that back. I want to go Queenie. And pay attention. It's Queenie, Note, Ishtar, and then I want to end with Masako. I think Masako's doing something right now. Now, this is my question. Have you learned from your parents that was not good for you as far as what you understand a relationship to be? Queenie, talk to me.
Have I learned from my parents?
You learn from your parents that you can honestly say, like, I picked up great things from my parents. I love my parents. But this is one thing that they taught me incorrectly about relationships.
Because I'm my own person as far as the way I think and way I move and way I do things.
No. I'm not asking you about what you think. I said, what have they taught you?
Well, that goes along with what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because because I am who I am. Like I said, I've seen things that they've done, and I took it and said, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to allow these type of things to happen in my relationship. So I have patterned myself somewhat differently than what my mother accepted a lot of things. And the things that she accepted, hell no, I'm not accepting that.
Okay, tell me these differences though. I want to get to the differences. I don't want, and trust me, I respect everything that you're saying, but I want to get straight to the point. I don't want to bullshit with none of tonight's topic. What did you learn from either of your parents that you look at now at this particular point in your life and say, that wasn't particularly beneficial to me as far as who I should be, who you feel that you should have as a mate right now? Things looked at,
I shouldn't have a mate that
you may have looked at it as a child and said, well, that's natural. But then as you got older and said, that may not have been as natural of an event as I thought it was now. That's what I want to talk about right now. Get to me.
See, like I said, I'm a very different type of person because I didn't think shit was natural as a child. My father would come home after hanging with his homies drunk and commence to fighting. And you would hear the women, oh, that's just what they do. Men do that. We have to put up with certain type of things. No, you a lie. I'm not putting up with no man coming home putting his hands on me because he decided he wanted to get drunk, or dinner wasn't on the table at the time he thought it should have been. No, you put your hands on me, we're gonna have problems.
You leaning towards my concept.
And I was in a relationship where an individual decided they were going to put their hands on me because they thought something happened and it didn't. And that didn't end well for him.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that if certain things that you did not experience as a normal in a relationship growing up and watching, do you think that you would have avoided getting into that relationship if you had seen things from a different view?
No, that relationship was completely different from what I've seen growing up.
Okay, you gotta explain it because you speaking so vaguely. I need you to speak to the topic that I'm speaking to.
Well, what I'm saying, it was completely opposite. My parents were the get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, go to work every day type of people. This person was coming in the house at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because they was on the block. And that's total polar opposite of what I grew up in. I grew up in what you would call a stable environment.
Honey, I totally understand what you're saying.
Huh?
I totally understand what you're saying, because that was my relationship with my stepfather. And again, I tell people all the time, I don't know what it's like not to have a father. I don't. I say that in two different aspects, because I was in the household where my mama was married to my stepfather, but at the same time, my father never went nowhere. Whatever. And I'm going to say this because Ishtar knows. Me and her been recalling saying that she knows how I am about my dad. And this is a guy that when I tell you he was in the Vietnam War, he took the fact that he was not the one that was chosen by my mother, and he let it go. And him and my stepdad, rest his soul, they had a mutual understanding. And that mutual understanding was that little nigga right there should be our best interest.
Yeah, he's ours.
He's ours, right? So and I'm speaking on this from a twofold situation, because as a father, I'm not speaking to a child right there, my firstborn son, because of something, whatever, and I don't know what his mother has instilled in his head that, it's your dad. But what I do as a conscious effort for my child, my son, every morning, the first thing I do is he gets a text from me saying, son, have a great morning, be blessed, be the best person you can be. I love you.
And you know how I can tell you ain't lying, bro? Because this is 2 weeks in a row that you said that exact thing. That exact.
Yes, bro. It is. If I could strive to be if anybody asked me right now as a man, who would you strive to be like? My daddy is the first word that's gonna come out of my mouth.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask you this: why would that be the first thing to come out your mouth? If you would explain that in 2 minutes or less.
2 minutes less, and I'm gonna.
Why would you say, if I came to you and say, you keep talking to me about your pops, what makes him so spectacular to you? Break that down to me,
because coming up as a youngster, I came up with a lot of cats that didn't have their father in their life. 2 or 3, my friends, bro, I used to get so shitty because basketball season, football season, whatever would come around, and my daddy would come pick me up to take me to go get shoes for whatever sport I needed them for. And my niggas that they fathers wasn't in their life,
they didn't have
be there with me.
They didn't have it.
And he bought every nigga. I gotta wear ponies because he gotta spend his money with y'all, and y'all ain't even his biological children. So I can't get Nikes. I gotta take the lesser, but at that time, I didn't understand that. I didn't truly understand that. Now, as an adult, understanding we're not just me, my people, the people that I hang around. If I got it and my bros can't help, this is what I was brought. I was brought up totally different with my dad. My dad right now is in a nursing facility. It takes everything in my heart to look up and be like, how can I let that happen? And it ain't that I'm letting it happen. It's just what needs to happen. I can't bring you back to where you need to be. But I strive in my life to be exactly now, not then, but now, exactly the man that my father was to me, with a whole nother man in the household. That takes a lot.
Ishtar, I want to hear from you. You've been shaking your head.
Okay.
You've been shaking your head so strong, and I've been vibing with every head stroke that you've been doing tonight. So I want to hear from you, because I really feel like on most of the shows that we have, we talk about a lot of wide variety of topics.
Yeah.
Really feel like this topic is somewhat down your lane.
This is something that y'all don't know. Like I've been sitting here and I'm trying to hold it right now. Because we're talking about our parents. Both of my parents have transitioned, and I lost them within a year of each other. So my mom passed 2016. Going to 2017, my dad passed in 2018, the day after Father's Day. So when I think back on them, the reason why I said in the beginning, I will warrant them coming in right now and giving me some advice that I didn't ask for, but appreciate it. But what I saw growing up, the same thing like Note, and I believe it was Queen. It's about her parents getting up early. My dad was in the army, and even when he retired, he was in now. He still was up at the crack of dawn. Like sometimes my daughter and I would call in the morning and check on them, and they would be up and out. I saw them also take care of a lot of my friends, a lot of people in the neighborhood. They did that too. It was one time my senior year, my parents took care of 3 of my girlfriends, plus me. Was no outside help. They did it because they cared. So I saw a lot of things I respect, and some things I hold. A lot of things I hold with me today. But one of the things I saw from my dad that I did not like, but I adopted, and I had to break myself out of it, was holding on to a grudge. Yo. My dad was a Scorpio. If you told my dad a secret, I'm pretty sure he went and closed his eyes and transitioned, still with some people's secrets that he was not going to tell. If you don't want something told, you tell to that man. But at the same time, he would have a hard time getting over certain things because he kept a lot of things inside until they blew up. So for me, that was something I wanted to stay away from.
What sign was your
So
father?
I wound up
What sign was?
kind of
What sign was your father?
hit the Scorpio.
Yeah, because like the only reason I say that is because it sounds very much like myself. It sounds like Virgo. It sounds like, and I'm listening to this conversation today, and what I'm getting and what I'm starting to understand from the conversation, just from the small time we've been on the air today, is as a people, we all want to grow. We all want to go to the next level. We all want to, but we come from different backgrounds. And I think for me, even with this show, even at this time, even me having a drink, and even with the Bears losing tonight, the way that they lost so disrespectfully to Indiana.
Yeah.
Shut the
The
fuck
Cowgirls lose.
Shut the fuck up. I'm talking about something. I'm getting very personal right now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, but seriously. But as I'm listening to this conversation, I'm listening to people that are so like-minded, but come from so different walks of life. And that's what amazes me, because there was a certain time that I could identify with Ishtar because we were both angry kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is something that, even though we have 3 other people on the show, that they might understand, but they might not fully comprehend because their parents were still together.
That don't mean we wasn't angry.
No,
bro. I feel what you're saying.
Hold on.
I'm gonna tell you why I feel what you're saying, bro.
But
Because like I said before, I do not know what it is like to not have a father present in my life, good or bad. When people get to talking about their dad, I shut up. Like, I can't even say I know how you feel, because I don't. I really don't. I don't know what it feels like, not regardless of whether my stepdad was a good influence or a bad influence. My dad was there.
And see,
so I don't know.
Not true.
And this is the crazy conversation that and I want to get to Maseko after this. This is a conversation that somebody's who had parents that stuck together cannot have with a person whose parents did not stick together. Because the parents that stuck together, the kids grew up understanding that the parents were together. When you grow up and your mother or your father, whoever the fuck decides to leave, and they gone, whoever the kid is with, that child hears more negativity about the person that they are not with anymore. That's not something that a person that grows up with both of the parents living in the same house goes through, because the child deals with the frustration of the parent.
And that shouldn't be.
But no, I understand that shouldn't be.
And again, that don't apply to me.
But no, but I'm saying.
Wait.
We can't hear you now.
Yeah, you
Going
went
in
out.
and out, bro.
No.
We can't hear you, bro.
Mm-mm.
But till bro get himself back together, I'm just saying that does not apply to me, because for my father and the situation, my mom never bad talked about my dad. I never experienced that. I never heard her say my dad wasn't sick, he wasn't this, he wasn't that. I never experienced that. I never even experienced her acting like that.
Me either. Yeah.
To this day,
I've
my
seen
mama and my daddy still talk to this day. My mama will call me, my daddy, and if he don't answer his phone, my mama will be like, everything all right with your daddy? Because he ain't answering his phone.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you now. Go ahead, bro. I was just trying to take over till you got back.
Listen to what you just said. And just between me and you, the disconnect between the conversation that happened in my house and the conversation that happened in your house was the references to my father was, you just like your daddy.
Yeah.
But do you know why that was?
Listen. This is the crazy part to a kid. I don't even know who my daddy is.
Right.
So how the fuck do you tell me I'm just
like somebody I don't know?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of kids are built with the resistance because the mother or the father, because I'm gonna keep this conversation wide open because it's a full conversation, because there are motherfuckers that can't control the kids that don't like the other parent. You feel what I'm saying? So it comes down to, even though you recognize that you are not in a successful relationship with somebody, how do you relate the child that you have created with someone? Because I'm gonna speak as a man, not as a woman. And ladies, I'll give you a chance to speak and give you a full synopsis of the situation. There is a difference for a man that is in a relationship with a woman, and then the relationship does not work out, and she has control of the child. Because the father could want to see the child. He has to go through hoops and loops to see the child. And whoa. Now then this conversation goes down to what type of a man that the person is. Is it a person that's gonna say, well, fuck it, I'm in the system, I ain't got to go through this shit, I don't have to go through that? Or is it a man that's gonna say, all right, well, fine, I got to go through, I have an issue with the mother, there is a legal system that I have to go through just to see my child, because that child had nothing to do with whatever the beef is. If the father cheated on the mother or the mother cheated on the father, that had nothing to do with whether the fact of the child is here. But the impact of how the relationship ends has a determining fact on how that child is raised. Because a woman, this is the difference that a woman will never understand, because 9 times out of 10, if a relationship does not work out, the woman has the full rights to just keep the child. Like, ain't no man just going to a crib and saying, I want the child. You ain't right. They got to go fight for the child. A woman can say, nigga, this is my child. I had it. This is my baby. And the father becomes a part of the system then at that point. So it determines whether the man makes a decision to say whether I'm going to fight the system and be a part of my child's life, or I'm going to say, fuck it. Now, those are two different people, two different situations. But for the person that says, I want to be in my child's life, the turmoil and the process that they have to go through, if they are not dealing with a logical person, is strenuous. It's cost effective. It affects the relationships that you get into, because guess what? If you're a man and you have one child and it's with a crazy ass woman, any woman that you get into a relationship with has to deal with the fact that you got a crazy ass woman on the side. That has to be part of the process. That has, like, if you get into a serious relationship, not just I'm just banging her and I'm just having sex and I'm just doing anything to do with it. If I get into a serious relationship and I'm like, yo, babe, you my woman, but you got to understand, I'm going through this over here. And women, y'all experience this on the side of having a kid, because when it comes down to a nigga saying, yo, I rock with you all the way through. You got a kid, I get it. No, a nigga will say, I want to rock with you and just want to fuck. And when it comes down to what the kid needs and what life needs, then it's a separation. It's the same way with a person that does not understand how a mother and a father walk in a relationship when they grow up with one side of the perspective. I want to hear from Big Maseko. Talk to me.
I guess because I've seen it from both sides of the coin. So that's why when there's certain things you were saying, I was agreeing with, and there were a lot of things you were saying, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't get that. Okay. So my daughter's father, when we got together, he already had 3 children, whom I love dearly, whom called me Ma. Those are my babies. When I first met her, yeah, no, she and I did not gel, because of course he's saying all kinds of stuff about her. She's crazy, she's this, she's that. As time went on, I got to be like, I don't think that was so much hers, that was you. Had my child with him. I'm still raising the other, so now I've got 4 kids. And then, he slid out, and now we have 5 kids. I never at any point in time badmouthed her father.
I'm trying to, because I want to ask a question, so I'm trying to keep track of the number that I'm saying. Okay.
And never at any point in time. Now, mind you, he's bad mouthing these other mothers.
No. Before we get to that, I want to keep track of the kids, because my question is going to be about which kids ask which questions. You feel what? Okay.
So I have.
He has 3 kids
previous to us.
To y'all meeting. Okay. So then there are.
Then there's mine.
Okay. So then there's one together.
There's one together.
Then there's
another son.
Okay, so there are 4 kids total, are not yours.
4 that are not mine, biologically. Yes.
That's what I want to get to the conception of.
Yes.
Conversation, and then I'm gonna come.
So I never badmouthed him. I never put him on child support. I never, we didn't have those issues. We didn't have those complications. But what happened was I told him. And my daughter will tell you, I never badmouthed her father. I never said nothing bad about it. I told him there was going to come a point in time where he was going to have to reckon with our daughter, regardless of his other children. He was going to have a day of reckoning with our daughter because of the way that he did things and the way that he moved. I said, but that's not going to be something that's going to have anything to do with me. That's going to be the relationship that you and her have, and what she sees and what she experiences and what she views firsthand. So all of the children will say now the youngest son, him and the dad, they all had their mom and dad. That was a bad situation. She had a whole lot to say. The kids will be like, daddy's a hoe, daddy's a pimp, daddy's this, and this. But that's never because of anything that I said. It's always because of what they saw.
Okay.
And what they experienced.
I need you to get to my question. I need you to answer my question, because you like, honestly, like, and you know I love you to death.
I know.
But you sort of swam me away from what the fuck I asked you. I'm asking you the difference between the 3 kids and how they see things and how they look at everybody in the conversation. So please sort of, quickly bring it into that.
The kids, like I said, the kids are all like, dad's a hoe. Dad's a pimp, dad's a hoe, but that's not because of anything I ever said.
But is dad a pimp, is he a hoe?
Yes.
Okay, so this is my question. No, I want to hear from you right quick. Is there a difference between a parent telling the truth about who they laid down with and had the child with, as opposed to shooting shots? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
go ahead, bro. My bad.
I want to hear your response to that.
I'm gonna say this, and at the end of the day, let's just keep it 100. If we wasn't there in the conversation, if we wasn't the fly on the wall, we really don't know what the fuck was said. But I can say this 100% equivalently with no doubt in what I'm saying, because it wasn't told to me, it was told to my dad. And when it was told to my dad, it came to fruition. My son, which is my oldest son, my dad came to visit me when I was at Indy. He simply said he came to see my son, his grandson. Him and my son's mother at the time had a good relationship. So your words to my father was, do not take him to go see his dad. If you do, you will not see him again. And on everything I love, to this day, we have not seen him. So I don't hold her. It is what it is, man. It's we have a lot of self-demons within ourselves that we don't conquer. And when we don't conquer them demons within ourselves, we relate that shit onto our children. And this is why we have generational curses that don't never get away. Because as you said earlier, we mimic what we see. As children, we don't know what a father is. We know what we see. As a mother, you may not even have a bad feeling about the father of your child, but when you're around an innocent child that knows nothing and that is innocent, if you can say, let's take a week, for example, and within that week, 2 days out that week, you can say something bad, and 3 days out that week, 5 days out the week, it could be good. That child is going to resonate to both of those. So we have to be careful about what we put out. I love the mothers of my children to death, except for my son's mother, because I really don't know what you said to him. But for the mother of my 3 daughters, I can honestly say they've never, as much as I deserve to be talked about, they never did it because they understood the love that my daughters had for their daddy. And it took for me to grow up and become a man and say, look, I have to now. And that's more of a challenge for a man than it is for you to talk bad about him. Because as a mother, if you talk bad about him, it's so easy for a nigga to be like, you know what? She putting that in, so fuck it. Why not be what it is? But when she speaks existence and life and the good things that man and don't bag talk him, bro, you got to stand up and be what she's taught you up to be. Now she's leaving it in the hands of that child to decipher what type of man her father is. So again, like I said, for me, it was from the moment we came up with this topic, it was hard for me to really relate to what really, because I don't have them issues. I just don't know what it is to not have a father. Like I tell people, I had the best of both worlds. I had a stepfather that, in my opinion, now that I'm older, wasn't shit.
And see,
but I had a daddy that was everything.
And see, I think that's what we have to understand. And lady, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna bring it to Queen. I think I said Queen, then Ishtar. Am I correct? Am I correct? Talk to me. If
I don't know, because I had to go pay my water bill, so I was absent.
Okay. So this is what I want to do. I want to go Queen, Ishtar, and then I want to go bring it to Maseko. Okay. Can we all agree, since we all on screen right now, because we all on screen right now. So whether we talking to anybody else on the side, we all on screen right now.
Yes, I'm talking to the baby girl who's sitting right here who's got words for you. So hi there.
Why you always got with you? What that's niggas go to jail all the time because they be proven it's they ass. You nobody know who the fuck I was until you
might know who you're talking about.
They did in fact make a cameo. They did know who you're talking about.
Hope that they got a cell big enough for both of y'all. But listen, that's all y'all. I want to ask everybody on the show this, and I want to go to Queen, Ishtar, and then I want to go to Maseko, and then I want to see if we got any questions out there, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep up with the show. Do you believe? Matter of fact, I want to bring it. I'm gonna change this because I want to bring it back to Note. Then I want to go Queen, Ishtar, then Maseko, because this question comes from something that I sort of listen to Note say. Okay. Do you believe that there are certain people out here that don't have the best representatives of a mother or a father?
Yes.
That can help them establish their thinking process to who they in turn find as a mate.
Being that you brought to me to that first, bro, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take it a step further. It's not just that they don't have an example, period, of what that is. And maybe being 48, and I know everybody ain't knocking on my door, but I know everybody is in that area. I had the blessing, the abundance, and the love, and of watching my father be a father, period, point blank. I listened to my granny. I'm 48 years old. I didn't realize till I was 35, I never knew that my granny came to get me when I was born to take me back to Mississippi. My father said to her, because she did this with my two oldest sisters. He said to her, no, he's not going nowhere. That's my son. My granny said, well, what are y'all going to do? I don't know, but we going to make it. See, that attitude with us now, with us men, and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to be 100, and I'm going to talk about us men. We need to stand up more and understand that I don't give a damn what she say, what you if you want to be a part of your child, if you want to give them something to hold on to about you, you have to make that happen. Because if you're relying on her and a broken relationship and a fucked up whatever y'all did, which some people gonna agree with me, mostly the fellas ain't gonna agree with me. 9 times out of 10, it was us. We was on some bullshit.
Listen, I'm not gonna say that I disagree with you. I'm gonna say it depends on the person and where the fuck
right.
They like. Because listen, there are times in my life that I was right and I got fucked over, and there are times that I'm completely wrong
and I deserve to get fucked over. Yeah.
Get it back. You know what I'm saying? Queenie.
We just got to get that back, though. We got to get that back to where us as men, regardless of whether we feel like, because I see posts all the time. And the fucked up part about the posts that I see is always the post that we post about Black men and Black women, 9 times out of 10 can go either way. You know what I'm saying? So if you say men ain't shit and they disgruntled and just mad because the woman don't want to be with them no more, so they don't want to take care of their child. Well, you can say the flip on that too, that most women mad because the man don't want to be with him. So they're going to use that child as a...
Okay. I want to get to Queenie. Queenie, you've been sitting there looking really good with your hair all...
matching her background and shit.
Can I do something for Queenie right quick before we go any further in today's show? This is a very special weekend for our Queenie. It is her own birthday. And so I wanted to just do this shit for her old ass right quick and make her feel real good about herself. So take a quick second and check.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Motherfucker. Happy birthday, nigga.
Homie.
I love your yes. Listen, I've been having this, this debate about whether we're gonna cuss on the show, and it's just gonna debate about what the fuck we talking about. Because this conversation right here, I really feel like out of all the conversation that we done had today, we done talked about sex, we done talked about, but I really feel like this is the one conversation that makes us all reflect and look at. I think if people will be able to look at this show and say, each one of these motherfuckers are different. Like they all have a different opinion. Queenie, talk to me about what we're talking about as far as this parenthood goes with as far as what you were brought up before you were a parent.
Can I interject for half a second?
No, we getting there, baby. You coming. It's coming. God damn.
You don't even know why I was trying to interject.
It's getting there.
Well, you didn't already interjected. Now go on and say what you gotta say.
Purplicious.
But here just throwing shit like, can I just say something?
Whatever. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Twerk some, shake some, twerk some.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be up on one of these tables back here. Messing up the whole show.
That was all. Happy birthday.
Thank you, baby.
this is where the show takes a whole different twist. Damn it. When I do a whole fucking birthday tribute to a motherfucker, and then y'all come behind me to stop you, I gotta go take a pee. You motherfucker.
Took 3 or 4 of them motherfuckers.
Listen, she's known her since she was an itty bitty.
Queenie, could you please us get back to the show topic? Happy birthday, you little blonde motherfucker, you. Think about the goddamn topic. I gotta go take a piss. I'm listening while I'm pee-peeing.
No, you
but
I rush. We got this. Now, go ahead.
Rush.
I whipped it out right here on the screen, but I said I'm not gonna do this type of show. I hate you.
You know, listening to what Note was saying, and even this whole topic, my son's 20 years old, and for his entire life, it's been me. Now, Daddy was around, but Daddy wasn't directly involved with him. But I never spoke ill of his father. I said to myself that he's going to have an opportunity to make that decision for himself. And
when we bullshit, we're so improved. You ain't got it. You ain't got to say nothing.
Well, no, I didn't. And when my son was about 13, he was about 13, something told me to ask him. I said, well, when you see your daddy, what you going to say to him? He said, and he asked, because he always asks if he can cuss. He said, Mama, can I say it? I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to ask him, where the fuck you been? And I was like, whoa, okay. And so I just kind of left it there. So, and my son is into music. He's doing all kind of stuff. So his father kind of been around, and I let that relationship develop on its own. I stepped back, but I just watch from a distance, because at this point my son's grown now. He chooses if he wants to deal with that individual or not. And I'm still not saying anything bad about Daddy. That's not my role. And my son is not a pawn in this chess game.
At all. Amen.
I didn't have any ill will toward his father. Okay, we didn't make it. Our relationship didn't make it. But I made a decision. Okay, either I can go to the chop shop or I can become a mother. I chose to become a mother. Exactly. And when I did that, it said to me, you got stuff to do, lady. So that means get up off my ass. Don't wait on public assistance. Work hard. Teach him what he needs to know. Align him with men who are role models that can get him to where he needs to be. And there's a lot of things that I did. And when he was 8 years old, no, he came home 5 years old. Mom, I want to be a CEO of a company. I said, what company? He didn't know. I said, okay. So I kept that in the back of my mind. He came home at 8 and said he wanted to learn how to trade stock. For 5 years, I chased down Andre Gibbons.
Yes.
If you want to. For 5 years, I spoke with Mr. Gibbons on a daily basis. When he turned 13, he was old enough to go into 100 Black Men Financial Literacy Program. I threw his ass right on in there. So now he was trading stock at 13. At 14, he started his business, Havoc City Studios in entertainment, which is still in effect right now. So everything that I could have badmouthed somebody about, I didn't. I took it as, okay, it's going to make me stronger twofold. Because now I'm playing mommy and daddy.
And listen, this is what you told me. Listen, I was in the bathroom. The whole time you was in there, I was like,
trying to hurry up. You done pissed on the floor.
Run back in here, because this is the interesting part. And this is where we're going to have people watching this show tonight, and they're going to have different opinions about what we're saying. Because we're going to have that motherfucker that was not there and not trying to be a part of their child's life at all.
Whiskey, Molly, whiskey.
I was the guy. Like, now listen to this. This is a true story. I have 3 children, 3 baby mamas. I have only one of the mothers that I can say as the kid was growing up, they pushed everything to the side about what was going on between me and them and made it about my kid, where it wasn't even about, it get to a point where we didn't even discuss us no more. It was all about the kid. You feel what I'm saying? My first child's mother ran me through hell. I'm talking about court hell. I'm talking about like going to court. Listen, I stood in court one time and this motherfucker lied so good before the fucking judge that I was not even given a chance to even speak after what the fuck she said. Wow. Like I'm sitting in court heated because I'm knowing everything that she's saying is, you know, fraudulent. I know it's some bullshit. Some of it, a piece of it, like everything she said, like 1/10 of it was true. But everything else that she threw on top of it, I'm sitting there in the courtroom like, and I'm sitting there and the judgment that the judge gave me was not even influential to me having a relationship with my kid. Like real shit. Like they gave me a judgment that was so fucked up. It was no, I'm serious. Like I'm listen to me. They gave me a judgment that was so fucked up in the courts that even my lawyer was sitting there like, that don't even fucking make sense. But what she said and the impression for black men, because white men don't have this problem. The impression for a black man to sit in court and go through that shit and then not, because I thought I was going to court just to go through child support. I mean, just to get a divorce. I didn't think I was gonna go to court and have a motherfucker bash me and and fuck my shit up in front of the judge and like I went in that motherfucker thinking like, yo, today is it. I'm getting divorced. I'm getting through with this motherfucker. And when I stood in that motherfucker with a public defender, because I was young, I was like 26, 25, 26. I was young nigga.
Poor baby.
I stood in that motherfucker with a public defender that just let me sit there and take all that shit. And then by the time I wanted to talk, the judge told me I couldn't even fucking say nothing. And it took me to what grew me to a point was when my child got to a certain point in life and I just pulled them to the side. I said, look, son, your father loves you. Regardless of whatever you've heard about me, whatever you've thought about me, I love you. There are certain things that I could not fight. I could not fight the legal statute that was already set against me. I could not fight wanting to argue with a motherfucker that I already knew. I hope my kid don't ever see this, but I didn't want to go through the point of arguing with somebody that was ignorant already, like just to prove a point, because it had already took so much out of me at such a young age. I didn't even have enough to, I didn't have financially supportive. I didn't have no financial support. I didn't have, I wasn't even at a point. I was a young dude. My kid gave me a grandson a couple months ago. So that lets you know how long ago this was. You feel what I'm saying? So for me to stand in front of a judge and hear certain shit that I couldn't even counteract or speak against. And that was the role that was given upon me. And then when I tried to go see my kid, it was like I was fighting the law. And this is the crazy part. I'm not sitting up here representing niggas that do not want to see their kids. If they don't want to see their kids, fuck y'all. But if you have went through some shit and you tried to see your kid and you got tired of that fight because you recognize that fight was not built for you as a man. See, it's different as a woman. A woman ain't got to have the. And only way a woman will go through these fucking type of conversations is if they strung out on drugs.
She's a nothing ass mama.
A brother can go through this shit and not have done anything wrong and be completely separated from his child. So the conversation, when it comes down to how a person that grew up without a father in the household, his mother didn't even like his father, and he got to become a man, then had kids on his own, then went through some shit on his own. The eyes are different. We looking at it different than even, and I respect every woman on this show. We look at it different than the aspect of some of the stuff that I'm hearing on the show. Ishtar, talk to me.
What? Okay.
Okay, well, I don't look at it different because I watched my father go through that with my brother. My parents were married all the way up until they closed their eyes. Well, from my father's first marriage to my brother's mother, once they got a divorce, and once I came into the picture and my mom, my dad, she didn't allow us to see really my brother. So I remember one time in particular where we went there for Christmas. I was about 5 to bring Christmas presents and to get my brother so we can all go out as a family. Well, she snatched the presents from out of my dad's hands. My brother was trying to reach to me and my dad, and she slammed the door in our face. I saw throughout the years when my dad went through what that shit, and my dad was a dad. He wasn't just a check dad. He was a hands-on dad. So that, to me, I don't agree with any of that. I saw the hurt and the pain, and I also saw the wedge that had to be rebuilt once adulthood set in for my brother and my father. I'm working on that inside. I still have issues with his mother because that was wrong. She took my father to get child support when she didn't have to. The reason why she did this, and I'm being real, and I know I'm speaking on some stuff, I just believe cutting it down the middle. It's not always a man, it's not always a woman. And from this part, I'm the child speaking. This is the child that saw this shit go on.
Spite.
So anybody watching, stop this shit. I'm gonna say this part. She saw that my father, because my father was a cop, my father was in the army, my father knew how to save his money. So did my mom was in banking, my mom was a teacher. They put their funds together and bought a fucking house. My brother, mother, and her mother, and took my brother to sneak around our new house because the new house was bigger than the previous house. That's when my father got called to court. What happened? She went off because she was nasty with the mouth, and she just wanted more money. So they had a mediator. They were sitting there, and my mom told my dad's lawyer. She called him to the side. She said, whatever way that she treats Julius in there, you go hard on her. Whatever she does, you make sure that she doesn't get nothing. Because you knew how nasty she was. She went up talking fly to my father and wound up coming back with less than what the fuck she came in there with. Less money. So the moral of the story is, first of all, in any situation with a child, it is not about you, it's not about your mate, it's about the child. Point blank, period. I don't give a fuck if you don't like them, they smell, whatever the case is, you lay down with them, deal with it. But at the end of the day, it's about that damn child. So it has nothing to do with, I don't like this one and I don't like this one. And they said this. No, you have to come together as 2 freaking adults and raise a child. That's it. And this is from the adult child now that saw this crap go on firsthand. Stop that shit. You're ruining a child's life. And I'm going to tell you this. You think you sleep by doing this? I had to watch my brother as a grown man try to reestablish a relationship with my father. When my father was reaching, my father was an on-hand father. Who kept him away? His mother. Riddle me that. I'll wait. I'm done.
I want to hear from, let me see who I want to bring in. I want to bring in Queen, and then I want to bring in, I see I want to bring in Queen, and I see Note over there shaking his face.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna mute myself. Go ahead, Queenie.
And Queen, then I want to bring in Note, and then I want to bring in Maseko, so Maseko can bring in any comments that we have on the show. If you want to call into the show today, please dial 312-965-5467, and you can get into the show. If you have any problems, please put a note into the comments, and we'll try to work it out. Come on, talk to me, Queen.
Majority of what Ishtar said, and I'm gonna say this because men catch a bad rap. And then sometimes they create these problems for themselves. But women have a tendency to use the kids as a pawn. If I can't have him, I'm going to make his life miserable. Women have this idea of this white picket fence in this house and this dream with the father and the kids and the husband type of thing. And if it doesn't go that way, they become bitter and angry. So now I know how to get to him. He wants to be with this child. So they use the child to make his life miserable. And I'm watching it right now. I got a family member who's going through this right now and trying his best. When I say, if the phone rings and they say, I want this, he's running to get it, or he's calling somebody, sending money. He's doing everything he can do to be with his child. But this mother is, no, I want to pick my child up. And things are court ordered. And she's going against this. And I told him, I said, let me tell you something. Take your ass right down to the courthouse. Get you a lawyer and battle her. Fight for your child. Don't give up. Because once that child gets to a certain age and you come to that child and say, well, I tried, they're going to ask you, you didn't try hard enough. You didn't fight hard enough. And, as a single parent, again, all the bad mouthing, it's going to come back. Because like Ishtar said, her brother now has to build a relationship with his father because neither one of them know each other.
No, he had to. My dad's passed.
But what I'm saying, in that process, they didn't know each other. And if we continue to do this to our children, it's going to come back to bite us in the ass as a mother. It'll bite us in the ass. And, and it's wrong for anybody, male or female, to take a child from their parent. It's wrong. Yeah, we might not make it as in a relationship because we toxic, we can't be together. Fine. We're grown. That's okay. But give that child the opportunity to have a relationship with their mother or their father, whoever it is. Now, if the parent is on drugs, okay, I can kind of see trying not to, that, but even still, let them see that. Let them see that this is who your mama is, this is who your daddy is. The child is going to decide, I don't want to be around that. People don't give these kids enough credit. These kids are way smarter than we are. You can get a 2-year-old that can run this show right by themselves.
Yes.
Clicking buttons or whatever. Our children are smarter than what we give them credit for. Hell, we learning from them.
So can I interject as a brother that's going through this shit as we speak?
Come on.
Let me tell y'all something. At the end of the motherfucking day, period dot. Russ, as a brother, may not agree with me. But ladies, y'all about to hear what I'm saying. And this was a revolution to my damn self. God damn it, nigga, you are a man. Stand up. Do what the fuck you supposed to do. Me as a man, I did not do that. So every fucking thing that I went through, it was
Mike, what? Your mic went down. Your mic went down, bro.
I might have got a little bit too excited. My bad.
I don't know what happened, but
I don't know if you can't hear it, probably.
No. I want to say this.
Yeah.
I want to say this because I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I'm speaking to a system. How many of y'all saw this weird ass election candidacy shit with Trump and
Yeah, we see.
You have just violated because that word is not allowed in this house.
no, this is what my question is. That's what
Mhm.
how many people saw it? Like actually, because see,
What, like 2 little kids in the schoolyard? Yeah, we saw that shit.
no, listen, this is my question. Listen, what I'm asking you.
Forget my language.
How many of you actually watched it? Like,
I ain't gonna lie, no.
okay.
Nope.
Okay. I'm
I didn't watch that crap.
gonna tell you what happened with me.
Mhm.
I was in the car and I'm listening to the radio talk about it all day.
Mhm.
So I said, when I get home, I'm gonna go on YouTube. I'm gonna pull it up. And within the first 20 minutes of watching it, I was appalled. Like, but something said, don't cut it off. Just watch it. Watch it until it's through.
For what?
Because I'm about to tell you. So many people are ready to argue about what they dislike, but have no balance or no basis to what they're talking about. Just because you don't like something, like
Deep internet.
if you're really gonna oppose something, and it's not for you, you should know what you're not opposing.
Mhm.
Because if the person stood in front of you outside of the media and had a conversation with you, would your emotions conversation or would the truth run the conversation? So you
Right.
look at motherfuckers and understand where the truth does not even lie within them. And for me, that's what it took for me to watch the entire thing, to watch it and say, okay, he's not addressing this. He's throwing this out. He's talking crazy here. He's rebutting. Like, it took me to watch the whole thing because I've already said that he's not the person I want to vote for. That's already been proven to me. But to watch,
Did you watch it from his truth? That's the thing about it. We all are watching and expecting him to spit some shit for us that he's not gonna do. So for me, this is what this is toward what I was leaning to when I was going into the child support situation. At the end of the motherfucking day, you can get mad at her all you want, but bro, you said it yourself. Even if it was 0.1% of what she was speaking, she spoke a truth on that 1%. So now, as a grown fucking man, me being the man, I have to speak my truth as well. And my truth is, damn it, look, I didn't put forth. At the end of the day, I'm trying to tell you right now, I still pay child support for a daughter that is 21 years old that I have a great relationship with, an outstanding relationship with. But if I ask her mother, hey, look, man, you know my situation. You know what I'm going through. She grown now. We gonna make this happen. Can we just get this shit off my back? Because every time I turn around, that shit that you got on my back is gonna hurt me, period. I gotta go to jail every time I turn around. I gotta do this for what? About something, don't get me wrong, about something that at the end of the day, I had a responsibility in taking care of that too. It's not her fucking job to give a fuck about what I'm going through. None at all. It's not her responsibility. Period. Dot. She don't have to give a fuck about me not having a job, about me not being able to put my $50 or $60 on my child support every week like I'm supposed to. It's not her job. At the end of the day, I went before a judge. I stood there. I made a commitment to say, look, I'm going to pay this $40 a week. And if I get 3 months behind, she's got every fucking right to do what she do, regardless of what she say. At some point in time, as a grown man, we have to stand and stand for what we do. I don't give a fuck how unfair. It's never been fair. This shit ain't been fair from us based on what you was just talking about with the presidential shit. Trump ain't never been for us. Biden ain't gonna be for us. Ain't none of them motherfuckers ever been for us. When are we gonna stand up for ourselves and be happy within ourselves? You have to reflect the change that you want. You can't tell me you want this, but you do this. That's bullshit. You have to reflect the change that you want. Period. Dot. That's where I stand on that. So if I want my baby mama not to keep taking me to court every 3 months, I need to stand up and sling bricks or do whatever the fuck I gotta do.
Hold on, let me give him a Seiko in here. Come on, Seiko.
I'm just saying, because I know Note. I've known Note for damn near 20 years. I know some of his shit. So you sitting up here and like, okay, I am one of those people. I do not believe that a court has to tell a man to be a man. Exactly. If you can't be a man on your own, that's on you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. However,
but I can't get mad at you for forcing the court to make me be a man.
There you go. That's my point.
I can't get mad at you for that.
However,
let her respond.
However, because I know you and I know the shit you was doing when she filed. I know how you was living when she filed. Okay? So because I know you and I know what was going on. Okay, so you're talking about she taking you to court every 3 months. I'm gonna tell you something. At this point in time, yes, she can stop it. She can be like, you know what? My child is grown. It's over. It's done with. Whatever. But at the same time, all the shit that went on back then that wasn't taken care of, that wasn't handled because you was out doing what you was doing, that's on you, bruh.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying.
So
that's
you can't be upset about that because that's on you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Seiko. Exactly.
Hold on, but see, this is my disposition, and this is why I differentiate.
Differentiate.
Yeah, I've been drinking a little bit tonight.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Just
a little bit. What you had?
Listen, let me keep me on point. Like,
okay,
right?
my bad. Okay, let's go.
I understand what Note is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, not what you're saying, but there is a different person out here that has lived a different experience out here, that has gone through a similar experience that you understand, but it's different for them because, okay, let's just look at it this way. Let's just say a man has done everything that he is supposed to do to see his kid. Mm-hmm. And it's prohibited by law.
By law.
That's crazy.
Listen. You say that's crazy. But when it comes down to and this goes down to the type of women or man, because who you lay with. Because if you're dealing with a woman that will have the police there every time that you come to the crib and you ain't even doing nothing, it's a difference between when you come into the crib and you trying to start trouble. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a difference when them boys is at your ass and they telling you to leave the premises and you leaving that fucker with the perception from the police standpoint and everybody that's out there that you doing something wrong and all you trying to do is see your kid.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And I know not just me that has gone through the situation that I'm talking about. There are many men that I'm not talking about these mothers that are good and like I just want my kid to be a good kid and I want them to know the father. I'm talking about the mother that's pissed off at the father. And like this, the kid is so young, the kid has no fucking control over this. So it's all on the adults.
I went through that.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you have a person that has to deal with the results of adulthood and the perception that's being put on them, because there are many people out here right now, and you know this for a fact, because how many times have you, anybody on this phone or on this line or watching this show, been accused of something that they had nothing to do with, or had to deal with something that they had nothing to deal with, but that was a major situation in their life? Imagine what that's like for a parent that's trying to see their kid, but they being prohibited. I'm not talking about, see, there's a difference between when I'm talking about that the father that wants to pop up every once in a while, every 5 years and say, I want to see my kid. No, we talking about that. We talking, listen, my personal situation with my own kid, and I'm gonna get real serious with the situation. When my child was 3 months old, I went to her mother's house and I stood outside of the apartment and I'm looking in, I'm talking to the mother through the window. I said, I just want to see my baby. I just want to see my girl. She said, the baby's asleep. I come through a couple weeks later. You know, I'm doing the same process, trying to see my kid. Gee, this motherfucker done moved out of town.
What?
That's
Move my kid. Whoa. I'm about to break this down for you. I want you to tell me how I'm supposed to deal with this.
I'm gonna tell you exactly, bro, because I'm telling you,
I know
I've
what
been
you're
through
talking
the
about.
same shit.
No. You don't know my story. Listen.
Okay, go ahead.
So then, I don't know, you know, for everybody, when we talk about Hurricane Katrina, that means different to everybody. To me, that meant my child was down there. That's
Had
what.
two of them in there.
Whoa. Listen what I'm telling you, though.
I hear you.
I'm telling you. So I went to I'm not a father that got called or got sent any papers to go to child support. I went to try to find my kid and to pay child support to find out what was going on with my kid, because the hurricane hit, right? The hurricane hit so bad and the records hit so bad that they told me when I went to court, the last time I went to court, the court system told me in so many words, we have no record of your child. You might want to think that your child is deceased and passed.
Oh man.
Like, they said it in so many words. They didn't say it in those particular words, but that's the message they were trying to relay to me. So about a year later, I got a message on Facebook from my daughter. And the message, my daughter was asking me questions about why I wasn't there. And my only response that I could have to my daughter was, baby, this ain't about me and your mama right now. This is about me seeing you. And I went through a process just to see my daughter.
Listen.
You feel what I'm saying? Hold on, listen what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Understand, as a black mama, I'm ready to fight already.
But see, like that's what I'm saying. It's a difference between a motherfucker that's sitting up here talking about, I want to see my daughter, but you ain't going through no process to see it. You ain't trying to be a father. I've gone through 2 mothers. Like I said, I got 3 baby mamas. Only one of them I give 100% props to, because regardless of how the relationship went, now check this out, regardless of how the relationship went, they dealt with me like, you have a son. I want you to be a part of this life. Whether they were somebody else, whether they wanted to fuck me later on down the road, or whatever the situation was, it was, your kid is here first. And there was a conversation that me and that mother had about getting back together. And I had to tell her I would do it. But the only thing that makes me not do it is if me and you do not see eye to eye and make this relationship work. What would that do to my son that would be excited about his dad walking back in the house? That'll be breaking his heart twice. So if I cannot have that final thought of, this is it and this is what it's going to be, I can't present that as a situation of my child. So I'm not coming into this situation as a nigga that don't care about his kids and don't want to be a part of his kid's life. This is a conversation coming from a person that has wanted to be a part of his kid's life, but has been.
What's your mic?
We lost you. We lost you. Hey, boo, we lost you. Stop talking. We lost you.
Go ahead.
Okay, there you are. I was about to say, stop talking because we lost you. So when you were saying this is the conversation of a man who wants to be in his child's life, after that point, we lost you. So please continue.
No, I'm saying it's a difference between we having this conversation about somebody that's saying that they want to be in their child's life, as opposed to somebody that is taking every step that they can possibly think of, possibly afford to take, possibly live and live their life, and hope if they get the kid in their life to take care of a financial situation and all that. I went through that. You feel what I'm saying? And I was pulled away from it. There is a difference between a nigga that comes to a situation and be like, I got kids out here, and if the mama don't want to fucking act right with me, then fuck it. That's a different conversation. It's a different conversation from a nigga that go to court once and hear the court say, well, you got to come back. We're continuing this shit. Like, I've continued the case I just told y'all about. I continued that case for over 1.5 years. Before they told, and this is what the court told me why they didn't want to extend the case anymore. They said, listen, since we cannot locate the mother or the child, we cannot continue to have this court case anymore.
Hell
Wow.
no.
Legally, with what happened, they had a right to tell me that because it was Katrina. It was a major thing that happened. There were a lot of people that came up missing, and you know what I'm saying. There were a lot of people that could not explain for. So if somebody did not pop up in the system, and after a certain amount of time, what could they say? Like, it's a certain point you look at it and say, well, from the mama's point, I say this, but then when you look at it from the court's perspective, and I went to court for over 1.5 years, and every time I went to court, it was like, come here, Mr. Rayburn, come here. We continue in this court case. And then I had to go out into the hallway and talk to my lawyer, and then have my lawyer explain to me what the fuck we was continuing about. That's how it worked.
Why did they keep continuing it? Because they couldn't find her?
They couldn't find her.
Yeah.
So they kept continuing the court case. And then they said, at some point, we've searched for her for a year and a half. You've been coming to court because listen to what I'm saying. I went to court to say I want to pay child support so I could pay to get in, because that's the process that I went through.
Right.
They told me we can't do that.
What do you mean they can't do that?
We can't locate her.
Oh, because they couldn't locate her. Okay.
Can't locate her. So we can't go through with your process for trying to file child support. You may have to prepare yourself for the thought that your kids get caught up in Katrina.
Yes, man. That's a whole lot.
So there are parents that are men out here that are really like, I want to take care of my kids, but do not have the process to take care of their kids, because on the flip side of it, I'd have been able to take care of my kid all along if the person would not have moved out of town and took me out of the picture. If I was a white man and I'd have said this bitch then jumped out of town with my kid, it'd have been a different conversation. Trust me, it would have been a
different conversation. You are absolutely correct.
It's saying this motherfucker jumped out of town. They looked at me and said, nigga, from what she said about you the first time you came to court, fuck what you talking about.
Right.
That she said the first time we went to court was a fucking lie.
That's crazy as hell. That's the shit we dealing with on the other show. Yeah, no. I'm gonna need you to give me some of that stuff that they got you Chinese over there. Well, just some real shit. Just absolutely real. I've got the hiccups. Y'all have to forgive me. As someone who went through the whole family missing through Katrina, like I literally thought that we lost our youngest son through Katrina. Like we could not find him. We could not find his crazy ass mama. We couldn't find any of that. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. And my heart goes out to you for having to deal with it. And for the court saying to you, you need to be in the mindset of having lost your child. As someone who has lost one of those children, you know what I mean? Like that's completely, absolutely, positively fucked up. Forgive my language, forgive my, because again, this is one of those topics that's like for real touches home. But okay, so all of that aside, because that is some truly, truly, truly traumatic shit. What is your relationship like with that child now?
It's very strenuous, because this is what I found out when I finally actually reconnected with her. She has a condition with meeting people.
With what?
With meeting people. It's a nervous condition. I can't think of the name.
PTSD from that shit.
It's something along that lines. So
I have one of those.
So when she meets you, she may or may not speak to you.
My youngest. So remember when I talked about the baby boy he's not mine, but again, he's younger than my baby girl.
So
I understand that.
So with the fact that she may not speak to you, due to certain, and I can't say that because I don't know her upbringing to a certain age bracket.
You lost Ishtar.
No, she's there. She's still there. But to a certain degree, I don't know what her upbringing was. So I don't understand all of the disconnects.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And with being told that ahead of time, from a professional, what I would consider a
What
professional.
you assume is a professional.
Yeah, what I would presume as a professional, and what I've also seen, I know that there is a disconnect with how she views certain things.
There's an
It's psychological.
So my approach to her has to be different. It's not like I would have on this show where I would be like, well, God damn it, this is what the fuck you need to do. And no, I can't. With her, I can't have that approach, because with her, it'll be me dumping something on her and pushing her further out.
She'll shut down.
And this is what I was saying from the beginning of our show. From what we've learned, how do we accept the differences that we've learned, whether they be right or wrong? Because even in speaking with about my baby, at this age, there are certain things that she might look at as right that I might look as being totally wrong.
Well, in the case with you and your child, there is going to have to be a conversation, and that conversation is going to have the cold hard truth. And you may not be ready for it, but if she's asking you questions, she's ready to accept the truth.
She's not asking me any questions.
Well, and what I'm referring to is when the initial contact, the first contact with you, when she asked you where you were or however it was, at that moment, she was seeking for a truth.
Well,
because somewhere somebody said something to her.
No, well, to a certain degree, I had a conversation with her, but I had it away from everyone, because in the setting that she asked me the question, she asked me in front of everybody. And I just knew me going into it in front of everybody would have been a lot worse than me pulling her to the side and, like letting the night go through and then pulling her to the side. I did have a conversation with her about what was going on. I just chose what I considered to be wisdom at the time and have it where it was me, her, and her mother. You feel what I'm saying? Because she asked some questions that if I would have answered it in the setting that she asked me, her mother would have came out looking shitty.
Well, if that was what her
But my thing was with the first meeting of my daughter, and
Yes.
this happened the very first meeting. I'm too concerned about if I say something that's too real, how is the mother gonna deal with it? And is she gonna keep me away from the daughter after this? You feel what?
How old is your daughter?
21 now, but when this happened, she was 15.
You know, Russ, and I understand fully why you may have done it the way you did it, because you were trying to keep the connection. But at that moment, for me, if I was in that situation, and I don't put myself in a man's position right now, if that was me in that situation, I'd have blasted her ass, because she was gonna have to own up to the bullshit she did.
Right.
But see, I put her on like I want to make this completely clear.
That's just me.
That ended with me having a conversation with me, my daughter, and her mother. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I had to say. But when she asked me the question, it was in a setting of a bunch of people that did not need to know all the information.
And what did she ask you? Where the fuck you been?
No, she asked me no, this was the question. She said, why have I not seen you? And why? And I'm like, baby, you have no fucking idea.
Where the fuck you been? That's what she said.
No.
And I said, ask your mother.
Because listen, by this time, honestly, my daughter was asking a question to really put her mama on Front Street. My daughter had already My daughter had already got those answers. You feel what I'm saying? The way that
Right.
the way that she was at my house and the way that I had everybody at my house and do a barbecue with the first day, the night she was there, I was like celebrating her. She knew and she could feel that her daddy wanted her around. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So asked the question, it was more of a smart aleck, like, so daddy, so tell me, why? And she knew if I said what it was, and her mama was sitting right there. And I literally had to look at and like look at her mama with every fucking fiber of what was in me to say what I wanted to say. And say, this was my exact words. I said, baby girl, listen, we'll talk about that, but it ain't about that right now. You are where you are loved.
Absolutely.
You feel what?
However,
But
right, and you're right. You're
but-
right, and the way that you handled it in that moment was as it should have been.
but later during that night,
But when it was over,
when it was
yeah.
just
But when that moment was over,
when me and her mama, and it was just mom,
That's when you
I
have
said,
it.
I said, you know what? You kept my baby away from me. I said, you know, and I made every fucking point that I wanted to make at that particular time. You feel what I'm saying? But it wasn't for me to create a scene and make my baby feel like my daddy loves me more than my mama. Because at that point,
Right. The divide.
it wasn't about proving to her that I loved her more than her mama did, or her mama did something wrong.
it
Because
was just about the fact that you loved her and you were celebrating her.
then at that point in my life, my baby was 14, 15 years old. So I'm looking at the situation like, man, at 14, 15 years ago, the life I was living,
Right.
I don't know why your mama did what she did.
But you know what? One thing I am going to say to you is when you talk about 14, 15 years old, remember I said very, very, very back in the beginning that I told my daughter's father that he was going to have that reckoning with her. There was going to come a point in time he was going to have that reckoning with her. I remember it was shortly after her 15th birthday. She cut loose on him. I was nowhere around. I don't even think I was home. Like by that time she had her own phone, you know, she was doing her own thing. She was communicating with him. But that's when that reckoning, am I saying that right? Reckoning. That is when that reckoning happened, where she was just like, okay, I'm about to put, you know, team mom against team dad. What the really happened? Where you been? What's up? What's going on? You know, is it you or is it her? That was at that age. That was at about age 15 when this one was just like, look.
Something about them teenagers.
She was just like, look, this is what I've seen. This is what I've heard. And, you know, this is what you've actually told me. So now this is what I've seen. This is what I've heard. This is what I've actually, you know, what you've actually told me. So now it's time for you to tell me the truth. And I think when it came down to that time for her to actually get to, when she got to her father and she was just like, okay, look, this is what it is. I will say that not only did she send him that conversation, you know, they were having a text conversation. They had a phone conversation. It didn't go well. So then they had a text conversation. And I will tell you that she forwarded me and included me in every single one of those texts. But it was at that age, that was the age of reckoning, where she was just like, okay, is it you or is it him? I love the fact that she prevailed and, you know, she got to understand that it wasn't you, because that was huge. That was huge, even in just the relationship of the two of you together. So, you know.
Big note, you've been quiet.
I've been quiet because I respect everybody's opinion. But
You always have a differing opinion.
it ain't different. It's just what it is. I don't I'm at a point in my life, even now, especially now. And when it's led into this, that, and everything, if you ask me right now, no, what was the discrepancy between you and your kids? The last thing you're going to hear out of my mouth, it was because me and my daughter's mother didn't get along. That's the last thing. Or that she's bitter or any of that. The first thing you're going to hear out of my mouth is me. Because at the end of the day, no disrespect to Russ's plight, no disrespect to anybody that has been through a different plight. But me being the man that I am, knowing the bullshit that I've done, being accountable.
That word right there.
Bullshit.
I'm gonna need you to say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Being accountable for no one else. So at the end of the day, like I said, that's why I was quiet. I respect everybody's opinion on how they are. I'm different. I don't feel no way about nothing that the mothers of my children have done in reaction to a lot of the bullshit that I put them through. Period, dot, point blank. And I'm going to just leave it at that. That's me. I'm accountable for me. So and the idea of that no matter what y'all do and the shit that y'all put me through was a reflect of the bullshit that I put y'all through. And a lot of people ain't ready for that conversation. A lot of people ain't ready to break themselves down and realize that you've caused a lot of hurt and pain. I have apologized to my kids time and time and time again. I'm sorry I put your mother into a position that she had to choose and tell you whether she was right or I was wrong. Because self-ego is going to make you stand out and look good, period, at the end of the day. Regardless, your ego is going to make you stand out and make you look like the person that did no wrong. I'm not that person right now at 48 years old. I can joke with me and my daughters, as a matter of fact, right now, y'all can go look at the post that I put up earlier. They on there because they don't believe that hey, at the end of the day, I told y'all I slept with that woman. Yes, she was married. Yes, she had two. Those are my kids. Those are your siblings.
Oh, the one that was just like your other children.
Period.
She put it in quotation marks. Your other children.
What it is. I'm responsible for me, no one else. I can get mad at however my oldest three kids, their mothers are cool. They not best friends. When they get on and make their little jokes and be like, yeah, your daddy ain't shit. And I get on that motherfucker and be like, yeah, back then. So yeah, I see where y'all get this shit from. But it's up to me now at a new day and age and what I'm going through and what I'm trying. Again, like I said, in order to exact the change you want, you have to portray that within yourself. You can't expect change from motherfucker when you doing bullshit. And then you want to come up and say, oh, well, and I'm not saying that that's anybody's situation. I'm just saying this is what I realized in life is that we always make excuses and say the next person did this. No, I was full of shit at 21 years old, 22 when I had my first child. Yes, I was. I was full of shit. I was full of shit up until 2 years ago when I had a stroke, and that made me realize it was you. You are in control of your life and the things that happen.
This is what this.
My son right now,
Hold on.
I don't have a relationship with my son,
Hold
but
on.
I can go through my phone right now and show y'all.
Hold on.
Every morning since
Bro.
since May of 2017, I text that nigga.
I want to ask a question. I want Ishtar to answer the question. Do you feel there's a difference in this conversation between a father that may have made some of the mistakes that Note is talking about versus somebody that may have not made those mistakes and went about?
Absolutely.
And I think, okay, explain it to me, because I think, like, to me, that is the difference in the way we view it, in the way that we've lived our lives. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to hear from you, Ishtar.
And see, with that, I love the fact that we have different opinions, because audience, we're all different people. We have a lot more similarities than differences, but we're different in where we were raised, conditioned, all of that. With that being said, I've seen on both sides, I've seen men that have been hands-on, dad, you see them with the kids more, you might see the mom. I've seen that. Then I've seen some where the dad wasn't around at all. That's a narrative that we're used to hearing. I've also seen guys, one in particular, my daughter's godfather, he has had custody of his daughter since she was about 5. All the way up and now, she's already in college. The mother would come to visit her at his house. I've seen guys that fucked around, some that tried to get me on a bandwagon, try to put a baby in me. I've seen all sides of it. And I've seen a lot of guys that have not taken accountability. I've seen that. I've heard them make a lot of excuses for why they're not seeing their children. And this is always narrative. The woman is crazy. I always had a question about that. The woman is crazy or the man is crazy. Well, this is what I'm going to say to that. Everything has an origin except for the all. What I mean by that? Everything can be broken down to fractions, duality, different fragmented pieces of the truth. That's what we have to understand. Nobody is wrong. We all have a different walk, which requires us to see things, act, and do differently. So what we're talking about right here is a behavior. And unfortunately, this behavior has a face, has a color. And we associate this behavior with the person. So therefore we say all men are yada, 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 or all women are yada, yada, yada. When case in point, male and female are really gender is the essence. It's not about the sex. That's in the way the world works, gender. So we have to look at the cause and effect of our actions. At the end of the day, that little baby's going to grow up. And that little baby is going to have questions. The main thing to remember in anything coming from a daughter and then also coming from a mother, it's not about what went wrong between adults. You and that adult have to talk about that and work that out. That's called correspondence. That's called communicating. That's called telling your ego, to sit the hell down and then let your authentic self talk. Let your heart talk. So personally to you, Russ, what I would say is this: I don't know how your relationship is with your daughter now, but I hope it is growing and prospering and great. Just be there. That's the most important thing you gotta remember. Just be there. That's the most important thing. The second thing is be authentic. Answer as many of the questions as you can. And by that, do more of this. That's action. Let this match this. That's going to make her have respect, a whole lot of respect for you, a whole lot of love for you, and trust you. As a daughter, that was hell of important to me. I could always trust my father's word. There's only a few men after that I can say that were on that level where they walked it like they talked it. That is hella important for a daughter and also for a woman. We look for that in y'all. So also how you are as a father teaches us how you are as a man. If you can't stand up, if you can't love and care for something you helped to produce, called manifestation, what are you doing? What are you gonna do with me? So the thing at the end of the day is, remember, it's not about this behavior and that behavior. We know what caused it. How is that going to help this child? That's not a conversation to have in front of the child. What the child needs to see is a united front. Fuck what y'all going through behind the scenes.
Facts.
That part.
Facts.
Absolutely.
And that's what I say. Everything is different for, like I said, I mean, Russ, I'm 8 years older than you. You make, you know, so it's not to say that the way you handled your truth is wrong. But for me, and dealing with a lot of the shit that I've dealt with, I had to break me and realize that, guess what, bro? You've been full of shit the whole time. You've been, yeah, your daughters love the shit out of you, but when they asked me, well, daddy, I had, bro, real talk. I don't know Kenyatta and Masako. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put your government out there. But Seiko, I don't know. I think we might have just started getting distant at that time. But I came out of prison 2 years. I would, and Ishtar, I think I spoke this with you. Mm-hmm. My conditions was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
My living conditions was horrible.
Yeah, I remember.
6 months out of prison, my oldest 2 kids' mother called me and said, your daughters want to spend the holiday with you. All right, cool, bring them on, because then my girls, I love them to death. They know it ain't like I was distant. When I tell you it was a plot, because when she left them to a brother that didn't have shit, fresh out of prison, didn't ever have my own place. My living conditions was deplorable. But at the end of the day, them is mine.
Right.
You called me on the 4th of July, the day you were supposed to be coming to pick them up. And I just happened to look out and see my daughter crying and say, oh, hold on, y'all, I need to go tend to my child. Hey, what's wrong? Mama said she ain't coming to get us till we learn how to act. Whoa, wait a minute, what the fuck you mean?
Yep.
I ain't ready for that. Oh, so I got to step up now and be a parent?
I think I remember that conversation.
Yeah, I got to step up now and be a parent. Fuck a father or mother. I got to be a parent with nowhere to go. And at the end of the day, it wasn't my daughter's mother's fault, my daughter's mother's fault, my mama's fault, the nigga in the street fault. It was my fault that I went to prison and came out, and this is what I was left with. But guess what I did? I made it safe. I made it happen. I did what I had to do for them, because at the end of the day, I will never divide the love you have for your mama and your daddy. I will always, me being the man that I am, I will always put that on my shoulders and bear that weight. Until you see something outside of your mama that make you feel different about your mama, you won't hear it from me. You won't hear me tell me your mama kept us from each other, and she did this and she did that. No, because at the end of the day, guess what? She was warranted in feeling how she felt. She was.
Absolutely.
So no, you'll never hear that. What you're going to hear from me is, well, your daddy wasn't shit and I fucked up because I like Masako, excuse my language, bitches. I loved the bitches back in my day. And I put them before I put y'all. Because at the end of the day, if it was really about y'all and the relationship that I wanted, I would have never did this shit to your mama that I did from the beginning.
Again, bro, like I'm listening to your story, and I'm not.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not doubting you either, bro. My story was just different.
And see, and that's what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, it's not about, for me, it ain't about what the mother or the father did. It's about the kid. But there are different circumstances in how the mother and the father deal with each other in raising the kid.
Yeah, the only difference I'm saying is I'm gonna take the brunt of it. I'm not gonna put it nowhere else.
Well, listen to what I'm saying. You can say that because your story has been different. You feel what I'm saying? You feel the way that you feel because your story is what your story is.
Yeah, true to a certain extent, but it took me to deal with myself.
Listen what I'm saying though. That is your particular story though. This is what I'm saying. That's your particular story. Your story and my story and my brother's story and somebody else's story are completely.
Come on with me, bro. I got a pee.
Yeah, we about to get ready to end the show, y'all. We
Here back up here.
I'm sorry, Russ.
This is the crazy part. I'm carrying the conversation on with somebody. This nigga got up and his ass is in the back of the. It's time to end the show.
What happened?
Oh my God. Good night, y'all. I appreciate it. I was not ready for that visual.
I'm glad I missed it.
I missed it too.
Oh my God, what just happened?
Nothing, nigga.
I think we got mooned.
Just
what? Oh no, I gotta rewind this. I gotta go watch it and rewind it.
See it now.
Okay.
What did I put?
I don't even know how to.
Love y'all.
Love you.
I think at this point in time, we should just say good night.
Yeah, this.
Good night. Thank you all for joining us.
Love y'all.
Great conversation. Please tune into our group next week because we're going to have a whole new topic. And thank you for tuning in. We are here every Sunday from 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. Join us for Real Talk. This thing called, nope, not called Life. What is this one?
Oh,
no.
Stay.
Oh my God, I'm just so sorry. The whole movie thing just kind of threw me off. So, what's love got to do with it? Because that's what we really need to know. Because we need to know what just happened.
Oh no. You
don't want to know?
It's just went across the screen.
I gotta see it.
I've been broadcasting the whole time. I've been broadcasting the whole time. I've never.
No, why you moon us?
I'm getting silly as it gets later.
No.
No.
Brother, no.
Nope. I need you to unmute.
Y'all wasn't supposed to see my cripple. Y'all wasn't see my cripple walk. Y'all wasn't supposed to see all that.
You know that you mooned us? Like you mooned all of America.
Hey, man, listen.
Go to the bathroom, brother. Just
that whole I wanted to turn my camera off, but hey,
I'm gonna tell you next time, cut it off.
Hey, look, look for the pimples on the booty next time. That's all I can tell you.
Oh,
I love y'all. I love you.
Hey.
Love you. Thank you for tuning in to What's Love Got to Do with It.
Y'all have seen me at my rawest. I couldn't wait no more.
We out of here.
I wanted to turn the camera off, but I felt a leakage coming on and I had to move. And y'all know I can't move like I used to. I'm a little crippled now.
Night, everybody. We've heard.
Love you all. Good night.
We've
Hey,
heard.
peace. Love y'all. Y'all looking good tonight, man.
We've heard.
God bless everybody. Praying we see each other in the morning.
This nigga got up, showed his ass, and came back and said leakage. And good night for everybody. That
Poor Ishtar.
and I told my family to watch tonight's show. Lord have.
Y'all told I was silly. It gets late. I get silly. If y'all about to get me off this air,
End of the show.
I'm about to start acting up. You gotta start playing some music, start dancing.
Anybody?
That's all right. Turn up. It's my birthday. Turn up.
Hey, you get your birthday dance? I was stripping for you.
Oh, okay.
Where's my? Oh, I don't got no damn ones. I'm sorry. Man. I'm feeling
Hey,
imaginary.
kill a nigga. Hey,
Make it right.
hey, bro, you said you wanted to raw and uncut. Be who you are. I had to be who I
Russian
was.
Where I would see Russian's face. Rush, you
Hey.
said?
Hey, we only had 4 viewers on my look. It's 4 people that got up and close and personal with me right now.
Nigga, we have a lot.
Don't feel bad, no.
I don't.
Good
Shit.
God. I'm crying. Y'all better get off the damn air. I'm about to cut up.
It's a lot of
Hey,
because the niggas about they don't even watch our own show.
and they gonna see the ass.
Goodbye,
Oh,
everybody. Jesus.
Ooh, Lord.
Ass. Stop.
Okay.
Good night.
Mama gave
Okay, so twerk it up on the joint.
Hey, this what happened when I drink Jack and I don't smoke reefer. This what happens. I get drunk and I think I'm at Pure Pass or somewhere. I don't know.
There it is.